Hello, I'm Dwayne McCrary, and I want to share with you 9 lessons I've learned about teaching adults by teaching preschoolers. Preschoolers used to scare me when I had to think about teaching them, but I was challenged to be a part of a preschool class to help, and so what I did was I just started attending the class, and my job was to stay out of the way and just observe in some ways and make sure that things were taken care of. In time, I became the lead teacher for that class. On Sundays, I teach a 50-year-old class at 8 o'clock, then I go to 9:30 worship, and then I teach a 4-year-old class at 11. So the worship gives me an opportunity to switch gears and change from a 50-year-old mindset to a 4-year-old mindset. In teaching those preschoolers, there are 9 things I've learned, like I said earlier, that make me a better adult teacher. I want to share with you those 9 things, and then I'm going to come back and us think about how those relate to teaching adults. The first thing I've learned about teaching preschoolers is that what they see matters. The first Sunday I taught, on the wall was a poster that had nothing to do with anything we were doing in the group time that day. But for whatever reason, there was a child, a boy, who locked into that poster. And that became the thing he was fixated on the whole morning. So I spent all of my time dealing with that distraction, when if I'd have just been smart enough to remove that poster, that might have made it a better learning experience for him. I've also learned that class starts when the first child arrives. It'd be real hard for me to say to that first child who shows up, hey, listen, I want you to sit over here till the rest of your friends get here, and then we'll start class. They're 4-year-olds. That wouldn't work. We start when the first one arrives. The opposite end is also true. We teach until the last one goes home, till that parent picks up that last child. And we plan for that. The third thing that I learned is that names are important. Now in our church we have a name tag system that the parents have a sticker and then the child has a sticker, and they have numbers that match up and all those type of things, and the name of the child is in big letters, but they wear it on their back. There are times when I can't see their back and I need to call their name. If I mess their name up, if I get it wrong, they are more than happy to let me know their name. They expect me to know who they are and to call them by their first name, whether that's here at church or whether that's at a ball game, shopping, whatever, wherever I may run into them. They expect me to know their name. The fourth thing I've learned is that flexibility is a must. It will not go like we planned. The art idea may take too long, it may take too short. We'd much rather it be too long than too short. But it's not going to go the way we planned. And there are going to be things that happen we couldn't have planned for. I remember one Sunday, there was a big storm that came through, and it happened during the Sunday school hour. And there was lightning and rain and all kinds of things. That changed everything we did that Sunday. Another thing I've learned is that the goofiest ideas are the ones that seem to work the best. Not long ago we had this idea where we would make a donkey out of a paper bag, and then they were to color this piece of material that went on the back of the donkey. We were talking about Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem. When I first saw that idea, I thought, there's no way they'll do that. But that became the biggest thing that we did. And it was fascinating to watch as each child left that morning and explained to their parents about the donkey and about laying a piece of garment down so that Jesus could either walk across it or ride across it on the donkey or sit on it on the donkey, and why they did what they did with their piece of material. They understood what worship was about based on those conversations. Another thing I've learned is it is about the Bible. There are times when there have been a child in a bathroom and we've told the Bible story. As soon as they've come out of the bathroom, they wanted to know what the Bible story was. They expect us to do something with the Bible. There have been some Sundays where we knew the story and we didn't open the Bible to share with them, when they would ask us, why didn't we do something out of the Bible? Well, we did. They just didn't notice it because we didn't use the Bible. They expected us to use the Bible. Another thing I've learned is that they want to participate. Not long ago, there was an art project that involved pulling stickers, and I noticed one of the children, was having trouble pulling the sticker off. So I thought, I'll go be a hero and help them peel that sticker off. So I get over there, and as soon as I start to help them, they let me know that that was their project, and I was more than welcome to watch them and talk to them, but they were going to do it. They wanted to participate in that experience. Now, it took more time, but that's okay. It was their learning project. Their learning experience was important to them. The 8th thing I've learned is routines are important. Now, there are some Sundays where we've done different things, and we don't do the same thing every Sunday. But in general, the order is the same. What I've discovered is having that kind of order gives them security as a learner and allows them not to try to guess what's happening next, but to go ahead and just be involved in the learning process. That routine gives them security. The last thing I've learned, number 9, is if you let them talk, they will. There's a lot of times when we're doing a block, building something with blocks, or playing in the kitchen, or doing something, coloring or whatever, that the other workers and myself, we begin having conversations with that child. We'll talk about how this relates to what we're studying that Sunday, those type of things. Those become some of the richest conversations that I have with those children, and probably some of the most important teaching that I'm actually getting to do, and the team I work with that they're getting to do. But we have to let them talk. They may not get to the point right off the bat, but in time they will, and that gives us an opportunity to be better teachers. Now you think about those 9 things that I just shared. Let me go over them real quick. What they see matters. Class starts when the first child arrives. Names are important. Flexibility is a must. Goofy ideas seem to work best. It's about the Bible. They want to participate. Routines are important. And if you let them talk, they will. Now think about how those things relate to adults. First of all, what they see matters. Look at the classroom and where you teach, or wherever your group meets. Think about all the things that they see and ask yourself, do all those things push them or move them in the direction of the lesson that Sunday? If not, you may need to think about removing some things from your room because it's confusing them. Think about when class starts. Class starts the first time, or when the first person arrives. With adults, that's important. It starts the learning process, and you can start moving them forward, and as others arrive, they start participating, and you're moving the whole group forward. Names are important. That's true with adults. Being able to call them by name, whether that's they have name tags or you know them, being able to call them by name during the group time is important with adults. Flexibility as well with adults. You know, that 8 o'clock class I teach, I don't know that there's any Sunday where I've taught that adult class where it went exactly the way I planned. We may have had a discussion I hadn't planned on doing. That happened today. We ended up talking about an issue that I had not planned on us discussing, but that was the direction that we went during that time. We have to be willing to be flexible and be able to follow the Holy Spirit's leadership during our Bible study times. The next thing I had learned and I shared with you is the goofy ideas sometimes seem to work best. I know there are things that sometimes you think, adults, this is just below them. They would never do that. Build this chart or do this map or whatever. My experience with adults is that those are the times when we get to have the most meaningful discussion, dialogue, those type of things. Where we do something we think they'd never do that. They'll hate doing that. And they may complain about it. But the question is, did they learn from it and was it effective? We need to think about the ideas, the things that we do with adults, and make sure we try to do multitude of different kinds of activities. Having said that, though, it is about the Bible. I know that's true with adults. They may come for a variety of reasons. They may come because of this relationship, that relationship, whatever. But bottom line is they're there because they know you're going to study the Bible. They expect you to study the Bible. If you fail to do that, then you are not meeting their expectation. For some of them, the only time they study the Bible is when they're sitting in a classroom with you. It's important for you to keep that in mind. Having said that, they do want to participate. I think about adults wanting to participate, wanting to read it for themselves, to study it for themselves. There are times when I teach my class when I will point to a paragraph in the personal study guide that we use and say, hey, which of these sentences mean the most to you? Do you disagree with any of them? Do you agree? Let's talk about what you're finding and what your thoughts are. They want to participate. It's not just about you sharing with them what you've discovered. It's helping them discover the same thing you've already found out. Just like it is with children, routines are important with adults. Now, I know sometimes when you teach, you want to do some different things because the lesson demands it. But in general, if you have a set pattern, that gives them security, and then they know the directions you're going in. The last thing is if you let them talk, they will. My experience has been if I ask a question to adults, and it's a good discussion question that's moving them from this point to this point to this point to an end conclusion, and then I let them talk, they will. I've attended some classes in other churches where I've been a guest, and I've just gone to a class in general, and I've sat and watched how things happen. It's not uncommon for someone to ask a question and then not give time for that question to be answered. One of the practices that I think you may find helpful is when you ask a question, if you're standing up, sit down, and then start counting to 20. That gives you about 20 seconds. My experience has been somebody will begin to answer that question in that 20 seconds, and then discussion will start taking place. It allows them not only to participate, but them to talk and for you to find out what they're thinking. I think those 9 things, or at least the things that I know now that have made me a better adult teacher, hope you find them helpful as well as you teach adults in your church. Thank you much.